Hey, in the neighborhood, beautiful day for a neighbor. Will you be mine? Could you be mine? Hello, everybody. This is Jedi Knight 55 Late Bloomer Trucker. Just want to say hello, bringing greetings from my smaller truck, going to check on the bigger truck, and wonderful rainy day here in the state of Maryland. I just want to say that. This is like I may just kind of title this Traits from the Founder. That's right, traits from the founder. Good traits from the founder, not the bad traits. Well, I was watching a very interesting movie the other day, and gosh, I've been watching like every other night or every night. When I get a hold of something, I just kind of get intense with it. But I was watching the Michael Keaton starting as Ray Kroc, the founder, how McDonald's got started, and the whole storyline behind the actual McDonald brothers and Mac and Dick, and how Ray Kroc kind of, the milkshake salesman, stumbled across the business and had an epiphany and was so intense and persistent as to wanting to take the brand to another level. And the word persistence, I would say, is probably the best word to utilize in the whole storyline. Don't agree with all of the things that Ray Kroc did, and you know, for the most part, as to his wife, how that went down, and then also the brothers. Regardless, you know, the brothers were the originators of this whole fast food speedy process, and I believe that it could have been handled a little better. And again, we weren't there. You know, the Hollywood writes their movie, people tell their story, and we weren't there. But I'm going to take some things from it that I thought was like great, and that is the persistence. And I just want to share that with those who are not the young at heart. If you plan on getting into this industry, definitely get a hold of a mentor, someone who's already went up the road, and that's what I did. And the gentleman that I went up the road, with, he wasn't a young guy, wasn't an old guy, he was in between. And you know, not to get into the age thing, just a little younger than I was, but you know what, that didn't matter. I was trying to learn the industry. And so I got a hold of him, and one thing led to another, and before I knew it, I talked to the wife, and well, you know, first the wife came first anyway. She's the one I talked to, and God bless her for helping me to pull out what I really wanted to do growing up, but I never pursued it, and that was trucking. And so as a result, you know, one thing led to another, and I ended up finding myself talking to one of the truckers, Casanova Roar. And I don't want to start name dropping drivers because I'm going to miss somebody. But there's a lot of great YouTubers out there. I'm going to say that. But nevertheless, talked to him prior to even going to CDL school. And I'll share this with the young, not so young at heart drivers. You get a hold of this, and you are in a transition stage, and you're never too old to do anything, and let alone trucking. And I know there's some drivers who are out here 70, 80 years old that I talk to, and that still going strong. And you know, the main thing, they take care of their health, and then also for longevity, try to get with the ideal outfit. And there's so many different avenues. Me personally, when I got into it, I did my time in, you know, all my jobs, odd jobs, and then solid jobs, you know, retail. And then my dad, who had an unfortunate situation in the latter part of his career, went into business, and then we, as a family, began to go into family business as teenagers and started learning the responsibility of working while still in school. But you know, we had those summers. My brother and I would go down to the Carolinas, and that's where I began to see the trucking industry in its core, in its origin, and that was with the loggers and those drivers who were driving the cab overs and the loggers and all of that, and still not really understanding the full magnitude. But anyway, down the summers there, my grandfather had the tractor, the John Deere, and that was a tractor engine, but this is tractor trailer, which is diesel and turbo driven. So again, just kind of had an admiration for trucks and buses actually for a number of years. But you know, I ended up going into other jobs and working other jobs, and then after working for a dad, went and worked at retail, and then went back, and then my brother and I went into business doing the same thing we learned from my dad, which was facilities, housekeeping, and some construction services, snow removal and grounds maintenance, and to name a few things. And you know, just had enough. I was a little burnt out after 20 years in that industry, and I had a conversation, and then the next thing you know, my wife pulled it out of me that trucking may be your avenue. Maybe be a desire that you had not pursued. So went to school, had some great trainers, as I shared, and to fast forward, a lot of them had a lot of experience, and we had a lot of different drivers from different walks of life, drove different types, and had different skill sets, like be it some mechanics on site, as well as tankers, and then dry vans and reefers and all of those good things. So here we are, you know, modern day. You know, I just thank all those. I had some friends that I kept in touch with, and lady drivers as well, who had previous experience and had to go back to school to refresh, that I keep in touch with to drive over the road in regional. And then I have some male friends that I keep in touch with. So again, you know, the persistence. I wasn't the oldest person. I was the second oldest person in class. I didn't feel bad or discouraged, but I stayed with it. And I was just so passionate about what I was doing and persistent, which gets back to the movie The Founder. I mean, it was like a perfect marriage. And then once I got out there and got the training with my trainer, respected his truck, and he owned his truck. I learned the business from him. I keep saying, you know, respecting one's equipment, and then having a sense of respectability for people in general. Learned all of that, and then when I got my truck and went to the company, I ran for a few months over the road, and I had to go home and then go back out a few months, and I did that for about a year or two, and that wasn't working. I had to find another way to reduce the time on the road and get home more often, and then I ended up leasing my truck, and then, you know, still remained persistent, because again, when I got into trucking, my idea was that I wasn't going to just stay in one place. I was going to end up wanting to be more independent, have more creativity and more say-so as to where I ran. But I finally got my truck out the leasing company, and then leasing, and I got my truck, and here we are. And I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot more things I want to do. I want to get my trailer one day, and I'm still following some of these YouTubers who have really moved ahead and doing well. And that's all I got to say for those who starting out a little late, transitioning for a third or fourth career. You know, do the research, and then speak to some of the pioneers, and then set your sights on getting into a company outfit that's solid and stable financially, and the feedback is positive. But you're going to have to go somewhere and get started, and then you'll work that angle, and then you should be able to know by then. But with all the exposure, the truck stops, and everywhere you go and conversations, you should at some point within a year or two have an idea, and then also your situation, family, and your finances as to what area and how deep and which area you want to go. And one of the things I share, I still love the coach buses. I don't know, maybe one day I'll stop driving the truck and get into busing, who knows. But I leave everything open. I don't just lock in to one thing, you know, and I have my other things that I do, my investments and my other ventures I do part-time. Trucking is about 75 to 85% of my revenue and activity, and that's where I'll stay. You know, I do want to do a 5-10 year plan and just reevaluate and see where I am, and I like to be in a good financial cash position to maybe expand, but we will see. It's 1 year at a time. So I want to encourage all those who are contemplating, considering, you know, sky's the limits. And like you watch the movie The Founder, Ray Kroc started at a later age when most would consider retirement, especially during that time. And the value of the dollar was much larger back then, you know, so I think the risk, the percentage of risk probably was even higher when you think about it. But I think this day and age with all the technology around us, there's a lot of opportunity out here, not just in driving, also in the freight and brokerage and other areas. And so I just want to encourage y'all. This is Jedi Knight 55, late bloomer trucker. Just be persistent. Watch the movie The Founder. And again, I'll title this The Good Traits of the Founder or something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and check out my truck. And y'all have a good day. Be blessed. Be safe. Make money. Enjoy your tours. and be respectable, respect everyone out here, give and take, and make the best of it. And we'll see where this thing takes me, and as I share my knowledge and what I'm learning. Have a good day. Y'all take it easy. And see the logo. Get ready for football season. The Washington Redskins still trying to find our way. A traditional team. Have a great day. Y'all see you around. Take care.